Welcome back. Today we're going to be making planet Suncatchers. So our materials for today are some water, either in a cup, a bowl, or a spray bottle. 1 coffee filter and 2 cupcake liners, some paper towels, and some markers. Your colors might be different than mine, but that's okay. So this is a very simple craft. All you need to do is color your cupcake liners and your coffee filter any way you want. You can make it look like a real planet, or you can make it look like a planet that you wish existed with your favorite colors. So you want to take your coffee filter and spread it out so it's nice and flat. And you probably want to color on top of your paper towels so that you don't get color all over your table. So I'm going to make my coffee filter with some blue and some purple. Now in your instructions, I included some references of what different colors of planets would be. So I'm going to make mine look like Neptune, I think. So I'm going to have some blue and some purple and maybe some of this like pink violet color. So there's my blue. Now you can make designs on it or you can just scribble. It's up to you. And then here's some purple. And you could make lines or scribble like I'm doing, whatever you want to do. And I'm going to put a little bit of this like pinky violet color in. Now try to cover as much as you can because you don't want a lot of white space, because that's what the magic's going to happen with all of the marker color. Okay, so you can see mine is pretty much filled in with colors. So I'm going to show you how to do one of your cupcake liners too. So just move this off to the side. Take your cupcake liner, same thing, doesn't matter what side, but flatten it out. And this one I think I'm going to make like earth. So I'm going to use some blue and some green. And this time I'm going to put a lot of blue, but leave some areas in between that I want to be green, like the land. And you can see it colors a little bit different on your cupcake liner, but that's okay. And you might have some blue fingers. That's okay too. That means you're an artist. And I'll put my green on. And remember, try to cover everything, or as much as you can. All right. Looks good. So now what you're going to do is make sure that your coffee filter and your cupcake liners, you'll have an extra one. I'm just going to do 2 to show you. Make sure they're on your paper towel. Then if you have a spray bottle, you're just going to spray until they're wet, but they're not like soaking wet, drowning in water. You don't want puddles of water everywhere. You just want them to be a little wet so the colors will start to bleed together. But if you just have water in a cup like I do, you're going to take your fingers, dunk them in so that you get them wet, and flick your fingers so you get wet. Make sure they're very wet. You can even drop some. You might get a little messy, but that's okay. And you can see the colors start to bleed together. So you either shake your hand or flick your fingers. And you'll see what spots are dry that you need a little bit more water. All right. That one, my big coffee filter looks pretty good. And now I'm going to move to my cupcake liner. And I'm going to drop some on there. That's a little bit smaller, so you won't eat quite as much. There we go. And even like your cupcake liner, it might sit on a little bit, so you can kind of move it around so you get the water off of it. And you even have a pretty paper towel. So what you want to do now is let these dry. It may take a couple hours or even overnight. And once they dry, we'll show you what they look like, and you'll be able to put them in your window like a sun catcher. So this is what mine look like right now, and we'll check back on them in a little bit. See you then. Hi campers, I have left my sun catchers dry for a few hours, and you'll know that they're dry when you touch it and you don't get color all over your fingers. So this is what my coffee filter looks like. Both sides look pretty cool. And you see it has a little bit of green on it. That's okay. That's just because it was next to Earth. And this is what Earth looks like. So now is when you would take this coffee filter and your cupcake liners and use some tape and put them in your window. And when the sun shines through, you'll get to see all the different colors. It will come into the room, all the different colors from each of your sun catchers. And look at my paper towel, looks pretty cool too. It's like its own art piece. So here are my 2 sun catchers. Come back tomorrow when we will be making another rocket. This time it'll be on paper. See you then.